Blacking China, Season 2, sponsored by Hayden T. Joseph, Certified Public Accountant. Visit us at advancedamericantax.com.
这是黑人在中国，
黑人在中国，
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 黑人在中国。
Hi, my name is Mikhail Turner. I'm a Chinese personality. I come from New York, but I was raised in Atlanta, Georgia, and I've been in China for about 12 years.
My name is Mr. 12. My real name is Douglas Farron. That's Douglas with two S's, named after Frederick Douglass. I'm from New York City, Queens, New York. Born and raised. I did high school in Franklin Township, New Jersey, Somerset, New Jersey. What up? I now live in Guangzhou, China. I've been living here for the last 7 years. My profession here in Guangzhou, China is I'm an actor, I am a DJ, and I am an MC.
So in the US, I was a programmer, computer programmer for CNN. And later on, I wanted to travel. And so at CNN, I was working for the Japanese website, CNN JP.jp. And so I wanted to travel. I heard about Japan. I was thinking about that and some other places, but I wanted to go to the East, I think. And then after seeing Japanese life, I didn't know if that was exactly what I wanted to do. I had a friend here in China, and I came to visit him just to see if I wanted to do something. And I had already decided before I left, if I liked it, then I'd stay here and develop. And so when I came then, I liked it. So I stayed here.
I had to deal with a crazy director doing this TV show, and she was like, I just felt that she wasn't showing me the respect that she should show me. Not because I'm not, listen, I'm no Brad Pitt, I'm no Jet Li, I'm no Donnie Yen, I'm no, Will Smith. I know that. I got a long way to go. I mean, they're on my vision board in my room, in my office, I mean. But just simple respect. And she had the nerve, because I was like, yo, in a polite way, trying to say, listen, I really don't like the way you're talking to me, so I'm just going to step away, maybe we take a minute for a second. And she had the nerve to, grab my wrist to be like, no. And I was like, you really don't want to do that with all the training I go through. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mikhail. So she, tried to grab the wrist, and I'm like, I don't think that's the right thing you should do. You know what I'm saying? And you just see the jerk or whatever, but it's I'm sorry, but it's just instinctual. Like, if someone enters your space and they grab you, you have to defuse, because you don't know, they have a weapon or whatever. But it was just instinctual. So to use your point, I couldn't believe it, yeah. So
when I came here, I was like, all right, first thing I gotta learn Chinese. So I bought a dictionary. I wasn't balling then, so I wanted to get the electronic dictionary, but they didn't have the smartphones then. The electronic dictionary was 1,000 yuan or something, which was the price of a phone or something like that, So I went paper all the way, which was a lot harder. I learned everything, studied every day. It took me about 3 months before I could start to have a conversation. And I used WeChat, not WeChat. I used SMS a lot, so then that's how I learned to read and write at the same time. So from that, from being able to communicate, then I was able to sort of build a network. So I met more friends. Started off dancing, dancing, and then teaching some classes and things like that. And then from there, just sort of developed in the direction of an actor. But to be an actor in China, there's two things you can do. Be one, you could be just a foreign face, on things, or two, you can be a Chinese speaking actor, foreign. I mean, you're still foreign face, but you have lines and things like that. Yeah, so to do that one was of course hard, a lot harder. So of course it took a while to get there. And now I represent myself. There are agents I work with, but I'm independent for the most part. And why? Why is that? Because I haven't found agent that I think takes care of their foreign talent. type of deal. So I feel like maybe it's the businessman in me, the business side of me feels like I do better by because I have an assistant, or I have a couple of assistants now. I have one main one, and then I work with them to take care of different things and put things together, something like that. So the road is a lot of communication, networking, making a lot of friends, a lot of mistakes, doing some shows that are cheap, some that make money, but all in all is keeping good relationships with everybody, and then it just sort of built up. So mostly for the most part now, the movies or TV shows or whatever they contact me directly. So they'll call me, they'll be like, hey, Akai, that's my Chinese name. But hey, Akai, where are you? That's always how it starts. Are you busy on such and such, this such and such? And then I have to be like, yo, who are you? How'd you get my number or something? And then they're like, oh, so and so from such and such. Give me your number, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I do that because sometimes weird people add me too. Let's get to that point. And so people will add me, and I'll be like, oh, okay, I don't know who you are, and I'll delete. But so the most part, it's just a network, things like that. Good relationships.
We had a residency with the #1 club in the city in Guangzhou, called Catwalk. We were there for 2 years, 5 months, and 19 days. Yes. And in my opinion, myself and my friend and business partner, Simon KMATiKC, we played a major part and a major factor in helping build up the name and the brand and the fun and excitement of that club. Because when we started, when it first opened, and it wasn't like how it is today. And but however, I am not saying that it was just us. It was a team effort. I am saying though that we played a major part, and that can be agreed upon between management over there. And #1 and #2, we left. We were literally resigned. They wanted us to stay. They wanted to pay us more money to stay and everything, but it was just time to go. Why was it time to go? Because just ready to break into, go full force into the, the acting world and being taken serious as actors and stuff, So in order to, and even though you might think, oh, it's just a club. Yeah, for you, if you've never worked in a club before, you've never had a residency for a lengthy period of time, for you it's just a club. For us, we had somewhat of a leadership role, and so we had to be there like 6 nights a week. And it was like from like 10:30, I forgot what time the last set was, like maybe like 2 something or 2:30, 2 a.m. or 2:30 or 3 or something like that. We'll just say 2:30. But that's a grueling 3-4 hours or so, because like you're on, you have to look at the crowd, you have to examine it. All right, what's missing? And there was sometimes when they'd be dead. So that means you have to pull out everything out of your book to get this crowd popping. You see what I'm saying? And that takes a lot. In addition to that, health-wise, it's China. There's just cigarette smoke everywhere. You see what I'm saying? I don't drink, so that saves my liver, but the cigarette smoke, secondhand smoke, affects my lungs. You see what I'm saying? So, that was another reason having to deal with it too. And then, having to air your clothes out, for 2 days at a time. You see what I'm saying? Because we're there 6 nights a week. It gets a little bit grueling.
Well, the Chinese rapper part, I pulled back a little, but it's still there. I'll still do it. I pulled back partly because I've been busy with acting. Right. So the Chinese rapper part came by because I wanted to get good at Chinese. And so I was thinking, just me going with like the biggest, thinking big. I don't know if you read the book or whatever, but Think and Grow Rich type of deals. Just thinking of like the best, right? So I'm like, who's the best at their own language, right? Sounds like poets, right? Poet or authors or writers. They're usually the best at their own languages, right? So I was like, all right, well, what would be a modern day poet? I was thinking like poets don't make any money, so I didn't want to do that. I sort of liked it. I could write songs. But I was like, all right, what type of poet makes money? All right, rappers. You know, I was like, yeah, rappers make money. You know, something like that. You know, why do I want to make money? Not to just be rich or bling bling or something like that. Because I have to sustain it. You know, I gotta sustain a life, and sort of when I look at like a lot of people have to stop their art because they can't sustain themselves. You know, like they, you know, maybe he's an awesome painter, but because he hasn't got taken care of the business side, or he hasn't figured out in himself how to have the artistic side and business side, you know, work together where one doesn't destroy the other. He can't sustain it, so he ends up dying some type of poor artist, you know, with no food or whatever. And then his paintings get discovered 20 years later after he's dead, you know. And then, you know, what's the use of that, you know? So, that was the money part. So I was like, all right, so I need something that could sustain at the same time and help me improve. And also, I wanted some type of motivation to want to learn more Chinese, you know, because just wanting to speak to people is not enough. You know, you gotta be able to, you gotta want to contribute, you know, something, or you gotta want them to understand something from it. And so, of course, you know, Black American, of course, I love, not of course, but naturally I would like rap, you know, so I was like, all right, let me go for that one, you know. So yeah, Mandarin rap, some Cantonese sometimes, you know. I think I can send you guys a word, something like that. A little skit, some of that. And then that's actually what helped me learn a lot of, not help, but develop my Chinese.
What is hot chocolate?
Okay. Hot chocolate, right? Yeah.
Hot chocolate.
So it's funny on purpose, you know. It's sort of we're making it. We're not trying to be like yo, well, hot chocolate represent, you know. Because me and one two, I know you did an interview before. Yeah. We like to joke around. We're funny already. And so there's a couple of different things. We thought of it together. So the deal is like it's part of, what was that movie that had sexy chocolate?
Coming to America, sexual chocolate.
Sexual chocolate? Was it?
Yeah, sexual chocolate.
I think so, right? Yeah. Was it? I think something like that. So it was a mix, because the thing is we're trying to like, partly because we're trying to change the concept of blacks. We're not black, we're brown, right? So I was like, all right, positive association. What's something that everybody loves that's brown? All right, chocolate, right? What do the ladies love? Chocolate. All right, good. So let's go with this chocolate. And then for some reason we were like hot chocolate, because it's sort of like sexy chocolate type of deal. But it's fun. It's funny when we say it, we laugh ourselves. You know, we're like hot chocolate, and then we just start giggling. You know, and then we're like, boom. You know, we come out the stands or something like that. So yeah, that's it. We're good-looking guys. You know, me and him. You know, especially when I shave and get cleaned up. You know, now I'm in I didn't, you know, you ever seen like actors? I didn't understand it before, but I do now. When they finish a movie, you just start like, you know, you just start like,
yeah, they just let it go.
Yeah, cause it's like a whole month. You gotta be like on, like every day, same haircut. You gotta be like, everything's gotta be done. It's a little bit tiring, and then when you finish, you're like, yeah. Plus, you don't want to totally be known or whatever, or seem like that. And I'm not super famous like that, but sometimes I am recognized a little bit. But then when you're like this, nobody, you know, you just sort of blend it a little bit, you know. But yeah, so when we clean up, you know, a lot of people, hot chocolate. That's why folks are like, oh, sometimes they say Chinese girls like white guys or something like that. I don't know what they mean. I have no idea, because there's tons of black guys I see, they have no problem or whatever, you know. Even if she did like a white guy, it wouldn't be a problem for the guy. It's really nothing. For Chinese just see Chinese and foreigners. You know, they're not, I mean, they're sort of like black guy, but if you're decent and you're not insane, you don't, you know, you're clean or whatever, you got some type of job or you're doing something, they're okay. They're good, you know, they're good. So yeah, when we show up on the shot, you know, they're always like, wow, he's good looking, Schwarzenegger. You know, he's a good looking guy, so we're hot. You know, we're hot and we're chocolate. We're hot chocolate. You know, and then in Chinese you say it the same way, 热巧克力, 热巧克力, it means hot chocolate. And Yeah, and it's fun, you know. When you hear it, you laugh, right? You're like, what? These dudes called hot chocolate, you know, something like that. Those were big guys, so everybody said it to us directly. You know, you come up laughing, you're like, oh, you hot chocolate, but then we're like, you know, 1, 2's like 6 something. I'm 6'3", he's close to the same.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know, it's just fun, but we love it.
For me, I gotta say, favorite so far has been the being a Black American pilot. That's significant for me. I am a Morehouse man. Class of 2002, Bachelor of Arts with my degrees in Business Administration with a concentration in Finance. Morehouse College, Atlanta, Georgia. I'll wait for a moment, let you digest that. Good. So, that's important to me because I understand the importance of, for example, the Tuskegee Airmen. I said it before. I understand the importance of black people, I'll say Black Americans, because that's what I know about, in World War I, in World War II, and how, you know, for some of the battles, they were won because we were there to fight the Germans away. We won the dog fights, you know, because of us. So I would say that was the most fun, and that holds a special place in my heart because I'm a Black American in China, and I'm being recognized that I fit perfectly for this role. Shouts out to my agent, Tony. Thank you for that. He fought for me for that. You my man. He's Chinese also, but Tony's his English now. Shouts out to you, Tony. And also they had the CGI, so we had the green, not CGI, the green screen, okay? And they had a real plane. You know, and they had a remote control. They turned it on, the propeller turned. World War II remote control plane. They built it so that it looked just like I'll send you the pictures. They built it just like the like World War II aircraft. Okay, they had the wardrobe was okay. They should have made the bombers, the World War II bombers. The Sherling, it's a Sherling coat, right? Sherling, right? The Sherling leather bomber. You know, I suggested it, but they didn't have time to make it. It's China, you know, they make everything. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they either make it or they find it on Taobao. And hello, exactly. So they didn't have time to make. I suggested. I was like, yo, because they asked me for my intake. You know, 1, 2. Do you think this wardrobe is authentic? I was like, yeah, it kind of looks authentic, but you really need the leather bombers because for Black American pilots specifically, and pilots in general at that time, you know, the cockpit became cold. It wasn't as advanced as it is now, you know, so and the bomber, you know, that signified that you were a pilot, you know, your Sherling coat, your Sherling leather bomber. I mean, besides, it looks cool, you know, like, let's be honest, you know, but, no buts. They portrayed me very well. The director was awesome. The props were great. My agent was great. Shouts out to you, Tony. And it was fun. It was fun. And the second one I gotta say, winning the #1 TV show in the country, Fecha Rural. You know, again, I am the first and only Black American man to win that show. You know, that was fun because I was personally selected to come back. I didn't even know it, but they built a whole story behind it. They didn't tell me this because they wanted to look more natural. You know, that was fun because they did that. They don't usually do that for people. And I was selected by the viewers who watch the show as, you know, most popular, most liked for the year, which is that played a part into it too. And then the host personally asked me to come back too, wanted me to come back. So I would say that was fun because they entrusted me to be the one to win, to take the win for the team. And of course, you know, I gladly accept and receive it, but then that's a win for like Black people in general. I'm not even gonna say black, people of color in general. You know what I'm saying? Because again, the culture here is like, yo, bright is white. I mean, bright is right. I'm not gonna say white. I'm gonna say bright. The brighter you are, some aspects of the better you are. you know. And in Chinese culture, you know, white skin is the right thing. You see what I'm saying? So, oops, sorry. So obviously that doesn't apply to us. But in some aspects, in some areas too, you know, in the culture you have, where people are like, oh no, you know, he's black, I don't know. Again, that's the older generation. The younger generation, now it's like, yo, my man, what's up? Let's be cool, come on. Come to my house, have some dim sum. You know, yo, because I'm left-handed. You use your chopsticks with your left hand. Oh, can you show me? Da-da-da-da-da. So sometimes the older generation, they're like that, like, ooh, he's black, I don't know. They're a little bit reserved, but I understand because they come from a totally different era, one that I can't even fathom. You know what I'm saying? But the younger generation, it's like, oh, what up, yo, I love 50 Cent. Yo, Oprah, yeah, someone said to me the other day, Oprah Winfrey. Wow, she's beautiful. I was like, you know Oprah Winfrey? My man. But so yeah, that role was important because out of all the black people that they've had on the show, and I'm saying black people because they've had black people, I'm gonna say people of color. Out of all the people of color they had on the show, they chose me. You see what I'm saying? And I am honored, I am super duper grateful, super duper happy, and super duper thankful. And it was just all around fun. And again, I'm looking at it for the advancement of the whole as black people in China. Like, that's huge. On TV, you know, a black American guy wins a Chinese guy. I hate to say win like the girl is an object, but you know, what's a better way to say it? Wins the TV show and wins the prize of being able to, like, you know, go on develop a relationship with a Chinese girl. That's pretty epic, you know what I'm saying? Again, in America, it's just, you know, it's another walk in the park. No, but this is China, it's different. It's totally, totally different. And specifically, that's never been done before, you know what I'm saying? Which means they had to have some big meetings, and most likely, they had to meet with the central government to say, like, hey, this is what we're thinking about doing, you know, is this cool or not? Because this is China at the end of the day. So that's why that's one of the best roles for me, in my opinion, that I've most fun and everything like that, because I understand what went on behind the scenes to get that done. And out of all the people in the world, they chose me. You know what I'm saying? And it was fun. It was hard though, but it was fun.
I'm not a master, don't say that, because to be a capoeira master, you gotta play for about 20 or 30 years or so like that. And the masters, it's not like, you just see a black belt on them, but they really like have contributed to the capoeira community as a whole. You know? So it's not like on some other martial arts, you know, you get your black belt in like 2 years or something like that. You know, you just pass a test or whatever. Capoeira, if you're a black belt, you started groups, you know, all the songs, you know the culture, you're spreading it around the world, you know, traveling. It's a very big, different thing. You know, so just to give respect, I'm not a master, but I am an instructor now, which is a certain level, like about a middle level. So yes, I'm an actor. I'm a Chinese rapper. I'm wow, yeah.
That's dope.
I do, among the capoeira is part of a martial arts that I do. So I do Wing Chun, which is here, local to here in Guangdong. Bruce Lee's martial art, or Yip Man. Yeah. So Wing Chun, and actually my teacher's down the way. Not saying, maybe if y'all wanted to see him. But so Wing Chun, capoeira, Aikido, I do Aikido, and Kali. And then before I did Okinawan karate when I was in the US for 6 years. So that's part of like I'm a martial artist in that sense. But I don't like to say that because that sounds sort of weird, you know.
No, it's okay.
But I'm a martial artist in that sense. And then in the ultimate part, which is sort of a two-part thing, I'm an entrepreneur, businessman, but that's because I'm a philanthropist. When the point of the money, or making the money, and actually the whole point of this in general, or making all this money is for philanthropy. Because I want to use the money that I earn from entertainment. Why did I choose entertainment? Because it's like massive, immediate, big money. You know, like everything else, you're like, you know, I mean, there is, you do get to it slowly. It's, you know, the beginning part is like, you know, slow, but once you're there, it's just massive, you know, immediate, big shots of money, you know. And so I wanted to use that to put in different types of organizations. I like venture philanthropy mostly, which is, you know, means like a sort of a business, self-sustaining business that is some type of charity. So it's not necessarily a non-profit. So I guess it is for-profit charity.
It's like a foundation?
Sorta. It's like a business that runs. It runs, but it's for the benefit of the people that it's running for. At the same time, it's selling products. So, for example, I think a good example I heard of is like there's a woman. I think she went to like Guatemala or something like that, Central American country, and when she was there, she saw like these handbags or something, like, you know, like these grass knit handbags or whatever. And so basically, a lot of people when they go there, they love to buy these. You know, women, you know, they see it and then it's like they had. I think at that time they had like some type of, I don't know, bohemian, you know, just at the right time, these bags were in fashion. So the big problem is that the bags are made cheap there, right? But they have no way to get it to like New York or LA where these women would buy these bags for like, you know,
thousands of dollars.
Right. And if you're there, you know, it's only like a couple bucks, you know. And so what she did is she created a website for these women. So basically, they can go on there, open up, you know, it's a website, so they can open up their own website storefront or something like that, and sell these bags through their website, you know. And then she does get a little commission, you know, not nothing massive, but she does make a profit. But at the same time, these women make profit, and then the women. So it's a win-win-win. You know, she makes a profit. The women make a profit, and I heard because of that, you know, they can send kids to school, you know, and things like that. You know, those areas don't have as much money, and then the women get to, you know, that super bag that they love to have. And so that's sort of like an example of like a venture philanthropy, you know, venture type of charity. So I love that stuff.
And also like I do capoeira. I do that for cardio too. And also like every Sunday morning, you know, I weigh myself too, because my goal is to drop down to 180 pounds. And I'm now at like 190, so I still got 10 more pounds to go. So yeah. Because I've let down that barrier, I feel more comfortable being vulnerable.
In my way. Unfortunately, it's the African perception. That's the hardest part. Now, usually as Black Americans, they love us. Right? Because they're like Obama, NBA, Jay-Z, Kanye West, whoever. That's Black America for them. Even the gang stuff, you know, of course it's bad. We know it's bad. But for them, it's like, wow, you know, like the Straight Outta Compton just came out. You know, yeah, every Chinese guy comes up to me, hey, yo, you see Straight Outta Compton? I haven't. I've been busy, but I want to. And I know I should. Actually, I thought about having a party. Yeah, but then straight up to me, you know, they got it on their phone. It's free. They got it free to download. He sent me a link, and he's like, yeah, all right. Well, you haven't seen it. Here you go, man. And then he shot it to my phone, and I'm like, whoa, all right. But that's Black America for them. The other side is the African side, which they do things which we would think is like, as Black American, we'd be like, no way. There'd be no way that would happen. So like, not no way, but it'd be very hard to see, especially for any type of Black American that would travel abroad, you know, to China. I couldn't see them doing it. So some of the things are sometimes being sort of smelly, you know, right? And I think I heard it's because of certain cultures, you know, washing and things like that, you know, that's why that happens. So because of that, sometimes before they even meet me, they're like, you know, they're like, oh, you probably smell, so let me cover my nose before he gets over here. You know, and it sounds funny, but it's not because of them, because sometimes it is like that. There's been folks I've seen, they were like over there, and I can smell them here, you know, and then I'm like, all right, and then you get into an elevator, or you get in after a taxi, and I'm not laughing at them, but it's how it is. It's what happened. Just because of that perception, then every time I go to do something, I have to break that, and then I can be seen for me, you know, things like that, you know, and so a lot of that, some of the things, because some of them, some of the drugs were, I don't say it came to them, but it was sold by them, you know, over here, things like that. And I think it's only a certain portion, you know, it's more like a bad apple type of deal because I got like tons of African friends, you know, and they don't smell, you know, they smell good or whatever, you know, there's nothing wrong, but I think that's the only perception they've had of black people here. And so, you know, besides what they see on TV, so then when they see, when I get past that part of what they know of here, then I'm Will Smith, or I'm Jay-Z, or Busta Rhymes, or whatever. You know, I got the locks or whatever. But that's usually the big part. As far as like getting jobs and stuff, they do. But I'm in entertainment, so that's how it is. You know, because it will be like, we need a white guy for this, you know, or we need a young white woman for that. You know, that's entertainment. You know, because it's a role, and they already have something. Of course. Do I think a black guy could have probably played the same role? Yes. You know, but the director already had something in his head. Right. That's what he wanted, and that's the same problem we face in Hollywood as well. I have heard it. I did teach English when I was first here. Those were for the first 2 years when I was studying Chinese. English was simple, and I knew you only had to work like maybe half the week or half the day, and the rest of that time. So then the way I saw it is I could still sustain my life. But I didn't have to have a job that took over my whole life. You know? And then I used all that time to study Chinese. So the biggest problem is that perception before. Once I'm past that, there's nothing. It's like a clear road, blue skies. You know, they're like, wow. They listen to my Chinese and it's gotten a lot better since then, of course. They're like, yo, if it's little kids, they're like, you know, they want little kids to come talk to me or something like that. And you see, I got my hair, I got dreadlocks. I'm not like even like the clean shaven style black dude or whatever, you know. So it's not even, that's what I said, it's not even like an image type of deal. It's like, it's really just what they've experienced, which is why I say it's not necessarily a bad racism. You know, it's that's what they've seen so far. Which and actually this part is true. It's sort of how I look at it. It's changed how I think about America. So maybe we say for like Caucasian Americans or non-black Americans in America, how they treat us is sort of because of what they've experienced before. You know, in the same way as Chinese have only come across, you know, these smelly guys that get on the elevator. And the one guy that got on the elevator that one time might be the only black person they ever met ever. You know? But we see it as like, oh, you know, that's racist. You know, how are you gonna think all black? But that's the only person they ever met, you know. And then they never ever met anybody like that ever again. One, I'm well aware of what that is. You know, you know, there's ways to handle that. But I haven't had over here. I haven't had that super aggressive yet. You know, I haven't had that. There have been like things where maybe they think I'm trying to steal their girlfriend or something like that, but that's a natural thing. Like
Goes with the territory.
yeah, like because I always relate it back. You know, black dudes, you know, maybe sometimes even black guys, you know, they're like, oh, we're not racist or whatever. But then if they see a black girl with a white guy, then they're like, you know, even if they're cool with them, they're still like, yo, so what's dude got? You know, like, so yeah, you know, even if they're cool, you know, and they're not like that, they are like that a little bit. They're like, yo, but it just don't look right. I don't know, you know. But it's you know, it's just the makeup of people in general. So negative stuff, mostly that. So because of that, there have been things where it's passed off. They're like, oh, it's a black guy. I don't know if I want to. And usually if I can meet them, then that gets clear. You know, then it's like, oh, whatever. But if it's just off of what they've known before, then maybe I won't get it. You know, maybe I won't get the role or something. Now I'm getting a little, you know, I have a little bit more momentum. But before, yeah, you know, oh, no, we want a white guy or something like that. But that's what, because they didn't see me. There's been times where I've been picked over white guys or Spanish guys or you know, other ethnicities or whatever, you know, other Chinese guys, Chinese Americans or whatever. Yeah.
China, I've been here for 7 years now. This literally, October 22nd makes 7 years. Got it tattooed on it. 7 years, 10/22, 7 years. China is I don't feel out of my comfort zone. Literally, to keep, again, being vulnerable, okay, and I've really only communicated this to Mekael, my girlfriend, and my best friend, Nzinga in the States. Shouts out to you. I'm gonna send you this link too. Yo, I'm a little bit scared to go back because I feel as though I'm gonna feel fish out of water. To be real with you, and I hate to sound like just like a white older woman in South Carolina just looking at the news, but yo, I'm a little bit fearful. Like I'm just gonna get shot for no reason too, because it really does. Again, it's World Star, but it is the news. CNBC, CNN, Fox. I checked I'm pretty up to date with my news and everything. But it really does feel like as black men, like yo, in America, we kind of got a target. Like what is it? I just saw like a few weeks ago, like I'm sorry.
Really though?
Ohio University, Ohio State University, shot a black dude in a car, and he wasn't even on campus. And then the prosecutor for the state even called the cop a retard. Know what he say? The most asinine thing he's ever seen, to quote. But like the fact that the cop actually campus police, that's the word I was trying to say. I forgot so bad. But the fact that campus police, in his mind, this equated 1 + 1 is 2. I know there's some arguments to the 1 + 1 is 2 equals 2. I know, but in his mind equated 1 + 1 equals 2, meaning black guy in a car trying to get away equals shoot dead. For him in his mind, that cop, that was 1 + 1 equals 2. The fact that in his mind, that's the way his mind processed the information. Like for me, that's a little bit fearful. And then in addition to that, like, and I've looked it up. It actually is reverse culture shock. For us expats, it is reverse culture shock. So, going back to the original answer to the question, I feel super duper comfortable in China. Why do I feel super duper comfortable in China? Because I understand the culture, which took a lot of time. I'm able to speak the language. I'm still working on speaking it proficiently and clearly by enunciating my words and using the proper tones. And I understand somewhat of the thinking of the Chinese, which comes down to the cultural aspect of it. And and also I feel comfortable too because, yo, I'm Mr. Positive. I'm Mr. Optimistic. I try my absolute hardest to think positive things so that I exude positivity and therefore that's what I'm gonna attract. You see what I'm saying? Like I always make the joke like, yo, I want it to be that when I walk in the room, it's like a starburst. You know what I'm saying? So that people just like, who's that guy right there? I don't know who he is or what he's got going on, but I'm gonna go over there and talk to him. So in my opinion, it all comes down to here. You see what I'm saying?
How you feel? I'm thankful to be alive. I don't think there's anything that that's the wildest shit I've ever been on. Look at that shit, that's a go-kart. He just cuts so easy. But you made it. Barely.
I can't hear you, babe.
Barely.
How you feeling? No, when we went against the tide, I was like, that's it now, I suppose. Like, and then Marcus's face, it didn't comfort me at all, because you were like, oh, like it was gonna happen.
Yeah, I thought I was preparing myself to get hit. It's like flinching.
That was
wild, bro.
And then he leaves us in the middle of the road.
Man, he's in the middle of damn traffic, man.
Didn't I tell you going abroad was going to change your life?
Yes, but I didn't think it was like threatening my life. There's changing your life and then there's threatening your life.
Do you now appreciate life more?
Fuck yeah, I appreciate it the moment I got on that bike. I was like, oh.